welcome back. The Teacher's Pet podcast was one of the most successful stories of its kind, helping solve the murder of Lynette Dawson. Now the man responsible for that series, Hedley Thomas, is working on another mystery called Bronwyn. His latest investigation follows a 31-year-old cold case which focuses on missing wife and mother Bronwyn Winfield, who disappeared from her home on the north coast of New South Wales.
While the police suspected she was murdered and recommended the prosecution of a known person, no conviction was made. Now, more than 3 decades on, the family needs closure. To tell us more, Bronwyn's second cousin and the podcast's co-investigator, Madison Walsh, joins us live. Hello, Madison. Hi, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
Madison, Maddie. So lovely to see you. So what do you think happened to your second cousin 31 years ago?
I believe that, well, 31 years ago, she met with foul play the same night she was last seen, and I believe that a known person should be charged.
OK. Now, the first season of the podcast dropped a few months ago, over 4 million downloads already.
Yeah.
For those who haven't heard it, what did you discover? What new information did you discover?
Well, we discovered that new witnesses would be able to come forward. We found that with releasing a podcast, there was so much evidence that we still hadn't uncovered. And for instance, we have Judy Singh, and she came forward and she said that she saw John that night Bronwyn went missing with a mummy-like figure in the back seat. So it's information like that that comes forward that really progresses the case, and we just get so much closer to justice.
So set the scene for us, for those of us who aren't familiar with the actual story, set the scene for us. For
yeah. So Bronwyn was a mother of 2, and she went missing on 16th of May 1993, and the circumstances were really suspicious. She was last seen by her husband, John Winfield, and he has denied any sort of responsibility. He just says she walked out of the house, she needed a break from the kids, and she was never seen since, hasn't contacted the family, hasn't used any bank accounts, has not talked to anyone in 31 years. So it's clear that something suspicious went on.
OK, now the first 2 episodes of Season 2 have now been released. What can we expect over the coming weeks now?
Well, there will be more surprises and more reveals, because as each episode comes out, there is so much more information. People constantly come forward, and we're starting to see that there's so many holes in this narrative that we're starting to fill just from using the media and just from people reaching out. So it's really, really motivating and really, really promising.
So you're 21 years of age. Bronwyn's been missing for 31, so you never, ever met your second cousin. But yet this has inspired, you've grown up with this story in your family, and now you've been inspired to study forensic science in an attempt to solve this mystery.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, growing up, I heard all about it. I heard about my second cousin that went missing, and my family presumed she was murdered. And nothing was done. Nothing was done throughout. I'm 21 years old and still nothing's been done. So I had this motivation to, if I studied forensics, would I be able to kind of help? Would I be able to get answers for my family? Because I see what no answers does. And, that's what they deserve, and that's what Bronwyn deserves.
Yeah. Hey, Maddie, we hear stories like this all of the time, and we always sit on the couch and go, where were these people 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Why didn't these people come forward all those years ago?
Well, that's it. Some of these people did come forward, but unfortunately the police just didn't really care. They didn't take their statements, they didn't take it seriously. Back in 1993, Judy Singh, who did see a mummy-like figure in the back seat, she went to the police, but they just didn't take her seriously. They did not take her statement. She went back to the police in the 2000s, and yet again, they didn't take her statement. So having a media platform like a podcast allows people to really tell their stories, and people really listen and people really care. So yeah, it's good.
So there are fans of podcasts, and they love to listen along and tune in. And so the first 2 have dropped. What's been the reaction? Has it been heartening for you to get people's feedback?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of work goes into these podcasts, so you always really want to know how people are going to react and if the story is coming across the way we want it to be perceived. And it's been really positive so far with this second season, and we hope it continues to do so, because people really do care, and people share their theories and give out ideas and do their own research, and it's helpful for us because we might not have thought of those things. So
more eyes and ears on the story,
it.
right?
Yeah,
we all know
exactly.
that Hedley's first podcast, Teacher's Pet, where Chris Dawson ultimately convicted. You're clearly hoping for a similar outcome here.
Yes, 100%. I mean, just knowing that he was able to do so much for Lynn was incredible, and to have this opportunity, the same opportunity, is also incredible. There are so many missing people out there, and to have Hedley on this case is really, really, we're really lucky. We're really grateful.
Yeah, well, we wish you all the very best. We can't wait to see and hear the rest of the podcast. To listen and for more information, you head to Bronwyn. That's what you're looking for. And that's a photo of Bronwyn right there. It was taken at her brother's wedding, you said?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.